The first step is to have a positive mindset when we're going to our job, or just waking up in the morning. Having that positive feeling in the morning helps us to get ready for the day and what is to come. So when we think about 3 to 5 or even 10 years, well, how do we see ourselves as educators? So I think the most powerful thing when it comes to mindset growth, it comes down to where do you want to be? How do you want to be in your classroom with your students? And how are you going to support them in their education lives? So, for my visionary plan, I implemented American Federation of Teachers. I want to cooperate and collaborate with fellow teachers all over the United States so we can come together and learn from each other, different perspectives and different visions that we have for our classrooms and for the struggling students, the ones that are getting left behind, the troublemakers. Everyone is included in this vision board. And so for that, I'm going to join the booster clubs because us educators, the students, like to know that we're there to support them in the sports, music, arts, everything that they are involved in, because feel important when we are there to support them. And then I'm going to make sure to attend PTA meetings, school board meetings, anything to help me stay connected to what is happening in my school district, state district, whatever comes in that idea and that perspective, because you never know what affects you and how it can improve your education learning environment. Another one that I do is I want to progress and continue my studies in my education, because if we just stay idle in what we are doing, then we are not ready for our growth, and then our students are not going to want to grow, and then that becomes a ripple effect. And so we want to, and our biggest goal is to have our students continue growing, expanding on their horizons, and just learning from each other. And if we are not willing to learn, then they're not going to do the same. Another part of my vision board is I'm going to especially learn more about technology. Technology is one of the biggest parts of our education classroom and is constantly evolving. So we must be able to and willing to move forward with the technology advances that are incorporated, especially in the classroom. And then they can expand outside at home, when they go to hang out with their friends or families. They can let them know, hey, I learned this today, and they can use their technology resources to show everyone what they have learned. And so part of that will enable me to expand on my growth as an educator, my spiritual aspects. And my biggest quote is, the root of education is bitter, but the fruit is sweet. So sometimes we have those moments where we don't want to learn, we don't want to do our work, we just are not having a good day. But yet, when we do have that person, the educator, that is there to protect us and provide that extra motivation, then at the end of the year, the end of our education, we become that sweet and happy individual because we have learned something despite the struggles that we face on a daily basis. And to continue my growth as an educator and for my students, I'm just going to be in tune with my body, my mind, and my soul, because if I'm not doing that, then how are the students going to learn from me and their peers and even other educators? So that is something that I'm going to be proactively doing for my students and myself, because if I am not well with myself, then my students are not going to get 110% of me as an educator in my future classroom.